Columbus, you put on the Streetwalkers thread, because that one stays on the first page at any given time.
Yeah.
So is this your car here?
Yeah, this is mine.
All right. Just tell me a little bit about it.
I've done it as full custom turboback exhaust, 3-inch with a MagnaFlow muffler. Changed the pipe recently. Removed the resonator, and now it's just loud. Well, not as loud as.
Gotta have a loud car.
Yeah. You want to hear it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I sometimes use the revving to get Civic users to back off me.
Yeah. Got a little bit of a wheezy sound. That's good. My buddy Danny, he's all about. It's also got a little bit of a wheezy sound to it. You know, it's got some torque with that.
As well as unequal headers. I will never go for the equal length headers.
This car here at one time had a dual exhaust on it. It's on my RX right now, all kind of beat up. I want to put it back on here.
True dual or one pipe that's split in two?
It's true dual, one off each side of the head, and it crosses to an X under the tranny, and then back out the sides and turned out behind.
Something you really don't see anymore.
Yeah, it was custom built, and it was on this car. My other buddy was driving it, and he hit a rock and tore it clean off because it had spin flanges on it, and it wasn't welded. It tore off, so I cut the elbows off and had some new 90 degrees bent and welded it up and fixed it, and it's on my RX right now. And it had these little tiny ass cherry bobs, so I chopped them in half and slipped 3-inch pipe over it all the way out. Fucker's loud.
I know I changed my exhaust. It doesn't use bolts to hold 3-piece together. It has these little clamp things that go around.
Kind of like a motorcycle exhaust.
Don't know. I've never really seen a motorcycle.
It's like kind of like a band clamp type thing or something.
Yeah, they're kind of a bitch to get off, but they hold together.
Well, here's a Subaru. There's Noah.
That's the old beast right there. What is that, miles? 78?
No, the hatchback, they came out in 79, they came out with this. So that's 80?
Yeah.
Oh, I see your wheels there.
That's the old beast. And those are sharp wheels.
Yeah, we still got them other odd wheels up in Butler. The ones that were like that off that GLF.
Oh, that's right, you had like 3 of them or something?
Yeah, they're still there. If I'm down this way, I could probably bring them to you, because you could use them as spare or whatever.
We saw that the...
That's a pretty clean ride.
About as clean as they come anymore.
Oh yeah. No, you don't find EA2s this clean.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes ago, I decided it was time for me to leave.
Oh.
Well, maybe I'll hold on for it.
Yeah, it took me a little longer to get it out of the garage than I expected it to. So.
Did you have to do some work on it to get it out here? Or?
No, I just had stuff piled in front of it that I had to move out of the way to get it out. So
this has got an EA71 in it?
No, it's actually it's first year for the EA81.
Oh, really?
Actually, look at the emblem on the back.
1800 DL. Oh yeah.
Because in 1980, only the automatics had the 4.8 liter.
Does this have hydraulic lifters in it?
No, they didn't come out with those till 83.
Okay. Yeah, my 83 it was a 5-speed, but it had hydraulic lifters as well.
Because 1980, they had some funky stuff. Like this.
And what is that there?
It's the second air cleaner.
Huh.
It's for
like a PCV or something?
You know how the later models had that little cast iron piece on the exhaust that had that air suction tube thing?
Yeah, like kind of popped off the clamp off the left side of the motor, or this side of the motor here?
Some of them had it on both, some of them only had it on one side.
Uh-huh.
Instead of having that, these have these little tubes running down to each.
Oh, so that's like the older EA7 ones.
Right, right.
Okay.
But I think 1980 was the only year they did it on the EA81. Oh yeah, this is kind of cool too.
Non-catalyst. I see it's got a clutch fan. I noticed the clutch fans with the I've seen some that don't have the clutch fan, it's just got an electric fan.
That's all I've got, electric fans.
Oh, okay, I see. My bad.
Yeah, these cars never had clutch fans. Only
The turbo.
only the EA82s had clutch fans.
The EA1 turbo had it. The one I had did. That one out in Iowa, I have to look at it again. We got that one from Iowa, it's over in Milwaukee right now.
Because I've got a EA81 turbo that I'm going to be putting in those.
You got all the wiring and everything for it too, or doing it standalone, or
I'll be running
the CIS?
on
Oh yeah.
We had a good turnout yesterday.
I'm assuming that's what
Yeah, they have those off the fuel pump too.
Everybody else was on time.
I had kind of assumed they were check valves of some sort, but
What,
pulse
the
damper
sheriff?
works too.
Well, the way this SPFI works, the fuel is here, and the pressure regulator's on the return side.
Do what?
Yeah, I think they're probably pulse dampers. This car here is a front-wheel drive, automatic to four-wheel drive 5-speed conversion. And this motor is out of an 86 SPFI wagon. The intake is off a 90 or 91 Loyal. Distributor and coiler off an 87 non-turbo XT Spider. The radiator came out of an 87 carbureted wagon. These are Jace's wheels. The one fender's off a 86 GL10, and the trunk lid are off the same car. These doors are off a 86 GL10 I got from Jim. The interior is the blue on the door panels is off the 85 turbo wagon that was at the junkyard. The brown is a mix and match between two 85 wagons. The carpet's off one of the 85 wagons. The seats are out of the 87 GL10. The driver's seat's off of 87 XT, which is the same one the coil distributor came from. The roof rack is off one of these wagons we've had. The rear suspension is off an 87 carbureted wagon. This is the second rear suspension it's had because the first one fell out. The diff fell out coming back from Wisconsin.
So why were you putting in the drive shaft, the prop shaft yesterday?
Because, okay, my buddy had this car and we went Baja in it, and we went through some tall grass and it wrapped up around the pinion seal and tore out the pinion seal on the rear diff.
Huh.
And then he sold it to his brother and he wrecked it and bent up the front suspension. So I fixed it and couldn't get it running. I'm like, because it quit running. And you know, it sat for like a year. The last year's Subaru Alliance meet, I was poking around and found that the ECS fuse was blown. So I popped the fuse in and she started up. So we went Baja in it. Well, Danny ended up with this Loyal and he took the motor out, put it in the Loyal. So this car sat without motor and I ended up with it. And I put a motor in and got it running, drove it for a while. And I had kind of an odd vibration. I kind of had ill tires on it, and bad wheel bearing, bad ball joints, which I, replaced a knuckle and things one at a time. Well, the vibration got so bad, and all of a sudden the U-joint broke off the drive shaft, and I didn't even think of the U-joint. I thought it had a bad bearing or something.
Right.
So I had to drive it another 10 or 15, 20 miles with it dragging on the ground and shit, and I tied it up with a coat hanger. I left it like that pretty much until yesterday, put probably 4,000 or 5,000 miles on it that way.
Okay.
Well, the differential not having no gear oil in it wasn't acting up, so I quit filling it up, because I mean, you fill it up, it'd drip out the next day. And after a while, the bearing, the carrier bearing on the side of the axle stub gave out, and it was vibrating on the way back from Wisconsin. That's when the first time really started acting up, and it started vibrating. I think the tab where the front of the diff hangs on the tube frame, I looked underneath it, the diff was kind of hanging sideways after I pulled off the highway. I think it busted, and I got so far down the road, and it was just clunk, 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 clunk. Pulled over and looked, the front half of it's dragging on the ground. So I had to pull over and separate the axle cups on the inside and take it out. And the rest of the axles, the way the axles were, it didn't have a DOJ cup on the outer end, it had a CV end, so I couldn't get it apart. So I had to sling them up with coat hangers and drive it back another 50 miles to home, and I ended up putting like 200 miles on it like that before I ended up chopping them off with an angle grinder. And then just until yesterday, John had some extra parts, so I assembled me a rear end and put it in here. And then I had to change the drive shaft out to connect it. I got the bra from Jim, and it's one of them bras that like you had to like unstrap it from like the whole front end just to open the hood, so I ended up cutting it there and screwing it down and stuff. So it's a semi-per. I could peel it up all the way up to where it's fastened down.
Right.
Yeah, this car, the only thing original to it is the hood, the body, the windshield, and the dash, and maybe one headlight. Everything else has been changed out. The bumper, the rear bumper's original.